Okay, so I was asked to do I was asked to put up solutions for the pre-paper. So I'm going to do that now. Unfortunately, I only have a pre-paper that a student actually submitted to me. So what I'm going to have to do is work away on that. So we're going to come across some questions that have already been answered, but this is kind of I think they just kind of had they didn't really answer it very well or anything. So so I'm just going to go through it straight in one fell swoop, I suppose. So it's going to take me about maybe, I would imagine, about an hour to do this. So it's going to be quite a long YouTube video. I don't have access to a virtual copy of it to kind of do an iPad version of this. So I'm just going to fly through it myself. I'm going to try and answer everything. Yeah, we'll see how we get on. We might just do the section A's to start with. So let's get cracking, I suppose. A mathematics textbook, which consists of 859 pages, is 3.25 centimeters thick. Calculate the thickness of a single page in the book in the form. Okay, so we have to divide 325 by 859, and that's going to equal I don't know if you can see that, 325 all over, sorry, 3.25 all over 859 equals, and then we can put that into 3.78346915 by 10 to the minus 3, and we want it yep, you know what, I'll leave it like that. 3 decimal places, so it's going to be 3.783 multiplied by 10 to the minus 3. So basically, can the student use their calculator? That's what they were examining there, okay? And when a motorist had driven that amount of kilometers, he had completed that of his journey. What was the total distance the motorist traveled? Okay, so 4/9 is equal to 39.2. 1/9 must equal to 39.2 divided by 4. So 9 over 9 will equal to 9 times 39.2 all over 4. So that's going to equal 39.2 multiplied by 9 equals divided by 4 equals 441.5. 441.5. And you know what, guys, since you're seeing my calculator in working, I'm going to try and get the old calculator as well. Okay, so that's the calculator that you guys are probably used to. So yeah, let's use that calculator. Okay, the motorist drove at an average speed of that amount of kilometers per hour. Calculate the time taken to complete the journey correct to the nearest minute. Okay, so they're going to travel this amount of kilometers. So it's going to be 441. We're going to find out how many times 75 fits into that. So it's going to be 441 divided by 441.5 divided by 75, and that's going to equal 883 SD, which is 5.886. So it's 5.886 hours. Now, that's fine, okay? But it's not in hours and minutes. So what we need to do is we need to turn this guy here into minutes. And to do that, we multiply 0.886 multiplied by 60. And that's going to give us SD, multiply that by 60 is equal to 353.2 minutes. So that's going to be 353 is our answer to that. So 353 is the answer to that question. Okay, and Bridget and Claire share in the profits of their company, ABC Bakery, in the ratio of that to that, respectively. Given that Claire receives 4,400, calculate Anne and Bridget's share. Okay, so Claire is this one here. Okay, now the B one, B gets a quarter of that. So B dot dot will be 4,400 all over 4, which is equal to 1,100. And A will be a half, 4,400 divided by 2, which is equal to 2,200. Right, that's question 1. Can you see that? That's question 1 dealt with. Okay. So let's take a look at question 2. I'm very conscious I don't want to give the student's name out, so let's take a look at question 2 next. The answer to that was mistakenly. Okay, so we need to do that multiplication first of all to get the correct answer. So it's 3.45 multiplied by 2.6, which is equal to 897 SD, which is equal to 8.97, when it should have been it should have been that, but it was actually, the answer that was written down was 8.79. So the percentage error, we're going to take a look at 8.97 over 8.79 divided by 8.79 equals 1.0204. So this suggests that we have a 2% error. Okay, so this is effectively 102%. So this number here is 102% of this guy here. Okay, and then we have 6,000 euro was invested for 3 years at compound interest. The rate for the first year was that. Calculate the value of the investment after 1 year. So that's an FPIT question, FPIT. F equals P equals I equals and T equals 6,000 we put in, is it? We want to work out what it turns into. 0.04. And we leave it in there for 1 year. So that's going to be F is equal to 6,000 by 1 plus 0.04 all to the power of 1. So F is equal to 6123 times 1 plus 0.04 all to the power of 1, and that's equal to 6240. So 6240. At the end of the first year, a further 2,000 was invested. So it was 6240. It then it's turned into 8240. The rate for the second year was 4.25%. Calculate the value of investment at the end of the second year. So it's another FPIT, FPIT. P is 8240. F, we don't know what that is. We're leaving it in there for 1 year, and it's 0.0425. So it's F is equal to 8240 times 1 plus 0.0425. And that's all to the power of 1. So F this time is equal to times, delete answer, times 1 plus 0.0425 all to the power of 1 equals SD 8590.2. So that's what's in the bank account at the end of 2 years. The rate for the third year was 4%. The total investment at the end of the third year was that. Okay, so let's write down FPIT, FPIT. Can you see that? You can now. Okay, so F is 9019.71. P is 8590.2. I is, that's what we're looking for, and T is 1 year. Right, so 8590.2 times 1 plus or all to the power of 1 equals 9019.71. We would normally put it over there. I probably should have done that, but I had already written this out. Okay, so easy thing to do is get 1 plus or all to the power of 1 by itself is equal to 9019.71, and that's all over 8590.2. So it was multiplying on this side, so it's going to divide on this side. So we have 1 plus or is equal to 9019.71 divided by answer is 1.05. So or by itself must equal to 1.05 minus 1. So or must equal to 0.05. And we would normally write that as a percentage. So or is equal to 5%. Okay. So on to question 3 here. Looks like we have a complex number question. Simplify. So right, we're just going to have to multiply it out. So it's 15 minus 10i plus 8i plus 12i squared. So that's going to give us 15 minus 10i, minus plus 8i plus 12 times minus 1. So that's going to give us 15 minus 2i minus 12. That's going to give us 3 minus 2i. That minus 1 there, he comes because I squared is equal to minus 1 from up here. That seems okay. Again, I don't have a marking scheme in front of me or anything, so I could make mistakes on this, okay? So if you think I made a mistake, please question it on Edmodo. Plot z and z plus 6i on the Argand diagram. Okay, so z is 2 minus 3i, so 2 minus 3i is down here, and that's z. And z plus 6i, well, that's z, we have to add on 6i, so we go vertically up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that gets us up to there. So I think it's going to be 2 plus 3i, and that's going to be z plus 6i. Write down the conjugate of z plus 6i, so that bar on top means conjugate, so it's going to be z. Okay, so I was going to put down z minus 6i, but that's obviously not the conjugate, because that's actually equal to 2 plus 3i, and 2 plus 3i, the conjugate of that is going to be 2 minus 3i. Okay, so that's that question dealt with. And then we have to do a division next. So we're asked to divide this thing here. So we're asked to divide 1 by z plus 6i, and we know that z plus 6i is 2 plus 3i, so 2 plus 3i. Now, whenever we have to divide by a complex number, we kind of have to multiply above and below by the same thing. What are those things we have to multiply above and below by? Yeah, the conjugate of the bottom. Okay, so let's multiply above by the conjugate of the bottom, and we get 2 minus 3i, and then below we have 4 minus 6i plus 6i minus 9i squared, and that's going to equal 2 minus 3i all over. These two will kill each other off. That's going to give us 4 minus 9 times minus 1, and that's going to be 2 minus 3i all over 4 plus 9, which is 13, and that's going to equal 2 over 13 minus 3 all over 13i. I'm just noticing my hand is in the way a lot, isn't it? So I am left-handed, so you're kind of, yeah. I think that's why they used to bash people for writing with their left hand, because they used to, when the ink was wet, they would drag the ink across the page. So you're kind of putting your hand on top of the writing when you're left-handed. So I'm very sorry about that, but yeah, I'm not even going to attempt to write with my right hand. So yeah, tough, I suppose. Yeah, I'll try and be aware of it, okay? So that's question 3. On to question 4 next. Find the two values of x for which this thing here equals 0. Give each answer correct to 2 decimal places. Right, so this is a quadratic equation, so it's going to be minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 ac all over 2 times a. So into here we put in a minus 7, BBA is 3, C is minus 7, BBACA, and then we bash that into our calculator. So maybe we should do this. So we have our fraction. If I put it like that, we're going to see what's going on. So I have our fraction. If I put it like that, there'll be no shadows, right? It's probably even better. I don't know if you can see the screen or not. Anyway, so fraction, and then minus start bracket minus 7 plus the square root of start bracket minus 7 squared minus 4 start bracket 3 close bracket 3 7 downstairs we have 2 start bracket 3 close bracket equals. We have two answers there, and the first answer is 3.088 and or x equals, so we have to scroll back into it, so if we go this way we get to the plus a lot quicker. We then hit delete and we put in a minus, and that gives us a minus 0.7554, and we want two decimal places, so that's going to be 3.09, where x is equal to minus 0.76. Yep. Okay, I am plugged in, but I still got a battery warning. I don't know if you saw the battery warning coming up, so I might have to stop after this question. Just let my iPad charge up a little bit more. Next question: solve the simultaneous equation. This thing here. Okay, so we have to get all our x's underneath each other. Currently, the equals is there, and there's an equals there, so we need to kind of get them to be lining up. So we need 4x minus 5y is equal to minus 21. So I brought this 5y over, I suppose you could think about it like that. 3x plus 7y is equal to minus 5. Sorry, I don't like that system of bringing stuff over, so instead of adding 5y on this side, we're now subtracting 5y on this side, so we did the opposite of adding 5y. Now that we are in the public realm, I probably should be a bit more in keeping with good systems. So we have 7x and plus 2y is equal to minus 26. No good. We still have x and y's. No good. Did you ever see the two Johnnies? No good. So we need to get rid of the x's. The x's are probably the easiest things to get rid of here. So we go, call that one the top, call that one the bottom, and we're going to take 3 times the top. So let's do it over here. 3 times t, so 3 times the top will equal to 12x minus 15y equals minus 63. And if we take 4 times the bottom, that will equal to 12x plus 28y equals minus 20. But of course now if I combine them together, it's no good because I won't kill off the x's. So in order to kill off the x's, I'm going to have to consider one of them to be a minus. So that becomes a minus, that becomes a minus, and that becomes a plus. So we do a complete sign change on the bottom line, and that then gets these to kill each other off. We have minus 15y minus 28y, that's minus 43y. And that's going to equal minus 43. So y is equal to minus 43 over minus 43. So y is equal to 1. So we now know that y is equal to 1. Therefore, 4 times x minus 5 times 1 must equal minus 21. So 4x by itself, sorry, that line there, he comes from up here. See that? Okay, so I've changed the y into a 1. So 4x minus 5 is equal to minus 21. So 4x must equal to minus 21 plus 5, which is minus 16. So x must equal to minus 16 all over 4. So x must equal to minus 4. Yeah, they really don't give you enough space, do they? Verify your solutions. That means you throw this information back into the original equations. So you go 4 times minus 4, and you want to see, is that equal to 5 times 1 minus 21? So that's going to give us minus 16, and that's going to give us minus 16. So that's correct. And let's try the other one. 3 times minus 4 plus 7 times 1, and we want to check, is that equal to minus 5? So that's minus 12 plus 7. Is that equal to minus 5? Yes. So we verified it. So I think that was the entire question 4. On to question 5 next. solve this equation. Okay, probably the handiest thing for me to do here is I really don't like dealing with fractions and equations. The easiest thing to do is to multiply everything by 3. That will kill off the fraction. So we then have 2x plus 5. We were taking a third of it. We're now just taking it by itself. But that means we have to multiply everything by 3. So that gives us 6 times x minus 1 is equal to 12x minus 21. That's probably the handiest way of doing that. We can then multiply out our bracket. So that gives us 2x plus 5 plus 6x minus 6 is equal to 12x minus 21. I think my ink is running out as well. I'm so used to working with the iPad. This is after getting out of the habit of writing and everything. So that's 8x minus 1 is equal to 12x minus 21. X is on the one side, numbers on the other, so we have 8x. To get rid of adding 12x on this side, we take away 12x on that side, is equal to minus 21, and then we have plus 1. So that then gives us minus 4x is equal to minus 20. So x must equal to minus 20 all over minus 4. So x must equal to 5. I'm going to change pens. So that is, that's question 5 part A dealt with. Michael works as a software salesman. He earns a basic salary of that per annum. He also earns 11% commission on all his sales. If Michael has sales of X in the year, write an expression to represent his total salary. Right. Okay. So we're going to have 28,000 anyway. Oh, that's a bit better. So 28,000, and then onto that we have X. And we have 11% of X. So what do we do with 11% of X? We multiply it. And that's our expression. And we're going to call that maybe T for total salary or something. So total salary is equal to 28,000 plus 11% of X. Yeah, and maybe they won't be happy with the 11% there, so we probably should write it as a decimal. Okay. If Michael's total salary for the year is that amount of money, calculate the total value of the sales he made during the year. If Michael's total salary for the year is that, calculate the total. Okay, so therefore 34930, that's equal to 28123 plus 0.11x. So x 0.11x, that must equal to 34930 minus 28123. So x by itself will equal to 34930 minus 28123 divided by 0.11. So x is equal to 34930 minus 28123 is equal to divided by 0.11 is equal to 63,000. So he sold 63,000 euros worth of software in that year. Sorry about that, I think I went out of sight there. Okay, so on to the last question, question 6, and I don't think we could answer this during our pre, so I didn't mark this question because we hadn't covered the calculus. We've now covered it, so we should be able to answer it at this stage. So we have this function, write down f prime of x. Okay, so the first derivative, so basically differentiate this line up here, so it should be straightforward enough. So that's going to be 4x plus k. Oh, I wasn't expecting to see a k in there, look at that. Tricky, tricky, tricky. That was a nasty question. That was dirty, wasn't it? And putting a k in there. Gosh. And then there's this weird question here, given that this thing here is equal to 7, find the value of k. So we know that 4 times 1 plus k must equal to 7. So k therefore must equal to 7 minus 4. So k must equal to 3. Hence, or otherwise, find the equation of the tangent to f of x at x is equal to 1. Hence, or otherwise, find the equation of the tangent to f of x at x equals 1. Okay, so to find the equation of the tangent, we have to use the formula y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. And to use that formula, we need two things: point, slope. So we know the value of the slope is 7, because that's what the differentiated thing is. And we know the x value is 1, but we don't know the corresponding y value. So we get that by putting 1 into the original equation, and that's going to now give us 2 times 1 squared plus k, which is 3 times 1 plus 2. So that's going to give us 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 2 is 7. Okay, so loads of 7s in there. 1, yeah, okay. Anyway, that's the way it is. So let's do it. So we have y minus 7. So that's my x1, y1. That's my m is equal to 7 into x minus 1. So loads of marks for writing that line out. Now let's write it as they like it to be written. Everything on the one side x positive. So we have y minus 7 is equal to 7x minus 7. So we then get 0 is equal to 7x minus y minus 7 plus 7. So we get 0 is equal to 7x minus y. Which of the images below shows f of x and f prime of x? I think I've made a mistake. So I spot that I've no constant. So I would expect that the straight line would go through the origin. That hasn't happened. So I've probably made a mistake in there somewhere. But let's deal with the shape of the curves first of all, okay? So the original function was a positive, okay, 2x squared, so that's positive, so it's going to be u-shaped. So we immediately rule that guy out, so it's neither of those two. Now, we then take a look at the slope here, and we spot that the slope is 7. So it has a positive slope. Now the slope of this line here is negative, but the slope of this line here is positive. So I think it's going to be B, because we have a positive slope, so we're going uphill as we go from left to right. So B was my answer to that. I might have a mistake in there somewhere, so I'll need to do that again, but I think I'm okay with that. So that's question 6. So we're now on to section B. I'm not going to do section B yet, okay? So that's section A dealt with on paper 1 on the pre. So it's about half an hour. So yeah, well done for sticking with me if you did.